Welcome everybody to tonight's commentary and special event. We have got a special one for you tonight. This is OBF1 versus Delta Pace. We're having a league versus league, 10 versus 10 battle, and we can't wait to get going. My name is Webbo. I'm a guest commentary here, trying to call it down the middle tonight for both teams. We're going white for OBF1 and green livery for Delta Pace. Excuse me. We say looking forward to getting going, and I'm really pleased to welcome a friend of mine on stream as co-commentator with us. Welcome to Lightning.
Hello everyone.
So those are the two voices that hopefully you'll get used to. I have posted the link into the Discord, so hopefully people are going to slowly catch up with us and tune in. So we're looking forward to seeing all these drivers going at it in a team kind of environment. We'll be going to Brazil and we're doing a full-on qualifying session, Lightning, so that should be fun.
That's one word for
it. So full qualifying followed by a 50% race, and thankfully, Lightning, I've just remembered to ask Peter or Pistol Racing, the head of OBF1, whether we're going to have a formation lap, and we are not having a formation lap, shall we? So we can call it straight away.
Okay. I always thought no formation lap would be better. Less chance of disqualifications.
Indeed, yeah, it does seem a little bit more trouble than it's worth sometimes, doesn't it?
Yep.
But a 50% race, does qualifying change the strategy for the drivers?
Very much so. Definitely, okay. Especially at Brazil, because Q2, if you have the pace, you can qualify in the mediums, and the medium soft strategy is night and day compared to the soft medium, in my opinion.
So medium soft, the preferred route. Awesome. Okay.
Unless we see some rain.
If you're watching along on the stream, please let us know who you're here for. Say hello, and give us your top picks for the race, particularly for qualifying as well. We want to know who you think is going to be up there. The tips I've heard would be to watch for Pistol, for Little Jim, and for Taylor for OBF1. And I think we've got some other people, but I'm slightly less familiar to the Delta Pace guys. So let me know who you think I should be looking for as we go into the race. We've got 19 total, 17 drivers assembled so far, so a little bit of tardiness getting going. I'm not quite sure who we're waiting for or whether we need any reserves. So I will let you know, of course, as soon as we hit ready up, and we'll get going. Tends to be a tricky one for track limits. Do you think, Lightning, around here?
Very much so, in my opinion. Especially the Center S. You can very easily cut the second turn.
Yeah.
And you have to be on the limit to be able to get a good run down the straight. So very difficult.
Absolutely. So it's about stretching the track, but not too far through those first few corners on the lap. But yeah, we see it all the time when we're watching the racing. You see people just leaning on that inside curb too much. I think there's a Max there. I think we've got one driver who's KVD has selected a red livery, so I'm not quite sure who he's driving for just yet. Maybe he's just getting everything together. Seem to have a fair spread of nationalities here. The usual numbers of British and certainly British or United Kingdom liveries. Nationalities around, a few world representatives similar to yourself, Lightning.
It has. I thought I picked British.
You're coming through as Globe.
So are
at the
you.
moment. Am I? Huh.
Yeah,
It's a Union Jack on my view. That's funny.
you've spotted a glitch.
So we're up to 20, but only 18 of those are drivers. So KVD, if you're watching, uh, maybe make sure you get your livery sorted, unless that icon is the red flashes in the green livery that I'm waiting to see. So we'll see. The only driver that I've ever seen before in um, our racing leagues is Sparks, and we know he's got some good speed. Lightning.
True. So he's been practicing this track quite frequently over the past few weeks.
Really? Wow.
He's about a second faster than me in qualifying. I think 1 minute 6.1 time trial lap. Best.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you for that. That's good info. No, he's got a lot of speed. He'll be representing Delta Pace tonight. In fact, I think they've got somebody who is the Division 2 champion for Delta Pace, but will actually be racing for OBF1 tonight. And I can't remember off the top of my head who that is. Let me see. I don't think he's arrived just yet. If you know, let me know in the chat on the stream here. Like I say, let us know who you're here to support and what you're expecting from the race. We will get going pretty soon, I think. Still waiting on 2 drivers, I believe, overall. How many have we got from each? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 8 from 9 from OBF1. So it's one of each. I think one of each team that haven't shown up yet, just yet. So. I know both teams have got reserves waiting in the wings, so I'm sure they'll let us know pretty soon what their plans
I
are.
reckon a few people are having dinner.
It's about that time, isn't it? Especially if they've had to put it off to watch the Grand Prix in real life as well this afternoon. Just trying to keep an eye on all the chat going on in different Discord channels. I think our friend FedEx Runner is watching on stream. He's one of the people waiting in the wings as a reserve, so I'm just waiting to get confirmation as to whether you're needed or not. We've got 18 drivers ready. No, one of them have got ready out of the 18 that are here. So let me see. I'll ask the question. I've got someone just messaging me, so I might know a little bit better in a moment. Okay, we have a full complement for OBF1, so it's actually 2 of theirs. I must have miscounted. Okay. So
FedEx has asked us to invite him and Pricey.
Yeah, that's what I was just referencing earlier. So, unfortunately, those guys are probably going to stand down. I'm going to let them know. Quite the fill we're having to do here for the Delta Pace team. I wonder what kind of one thing I need to ask everyone on the stream: what does OBF1 stand for, and what does Delta Pace reference?
OBF1 must be Star Wars.
Pistol just said sorry about the wait. I'm sorry, we haven't got anything to say at the moment. Let us know. Let us know if you have a question for us. We will get going pretty soon, I'm sure. 2 more drivers to arrive. Some interesting name PSNs around here. Would you rather? I know he was touted as a strong driver in one of the chats I was following.
We've even got an F1 driver, Leclerc.
I have got Leclerc. Yeah, he's got changed quickly, hasn't he? Let's hope his passes are a little bit cleaner than they were this afternoon.
There were definitely some questionable dive bombs.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, so we've got India represented twice here, I think. What else? Got a Dane, Turkish. Nice to see lots of different people from all over the place getting ready. So, where are we? Come on, guys, let's get us going and get moving. It's been a long time.
We would have already been through qualifying 1 nearly.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So I know Pistol and I think is it Chris Ammett is they're the 2 kind of team captains tonight. So I think I'm hoping to try and get hold of them at the end of the race as a kind of review, or maybe we might be able to hear from the race winner as well if they want to. If they're watching along right now, obviously, just while they've got a lull in timings. We've got one guy, Patterson's just joined, excellent. So I think we're just waiting on one more now. If you're likely to win, make sure, or you want to talk after the race, make sure you set your broadcast audio to share your audio settings. It's a common issue if people are being interviewed and they just get a one-way conversation with me.
I have been known to do that.
It has been known, hasn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
I have done it a couple of times.
Do you know, I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Awesome. Do you know what? I knew that would make everybody arrive.
Yep.
Brilliant stuff. We're ready to go. We're getting going. There we go. All the drivers ready. And we are heading out to Sao Paulo.
I received word from Sparks. Apparently, a driver thought that it was at 6 o'clock.
Ah, okay, yeah. We've seen that happen plenty of times before. Thanks for everybody's patience. I believe OBF1 are going to get into a party as well. There's going to be some live radio link between the drivers, which is pretty cool. If only we could listen in.
That would be good.
It would. You and I have done it before as well, having an open mics, which is pretty fun.
Certainly interesting.
So it's looking dry for qualifying at least. We're going to head out there. We're going to have 20 cars going around this tight little Autodromo Carlos Pace.
Oh, my driver is getting out.
Excellent stuff. We'll get a look at the first of these cars then. It's Temp. So Temp is a green with red stripes with a white chaser. Is the livery?
Two people have the incorrect livery. Leclerc and Kieran.
Interesting. It could just be the colour of their icon potentially, but we'll check them out and make sure. But here is Temp on his outlap. We've got Harv out there. I think Sparks is out there as well. So once we've got everybody going, we'll get a good look at how the cars are behaving. But it looks hot out there, doesn't it?
Definitely looks very sunny, no clouds. High track temperature.
So just Temp here, just getting the car set up through Young Sao, and hits the loud pedal and heads on up the hill. So we'll ride with him. Lightning, could you take us through a lap of this famous track?
Heading into turn 1, 330 kilometers an hour, brake at 50 meters, third gear, very difficult turn 1. Very good exit, and he doesn't, and he spins and he DNFs.
Oh, a bad start and a big issue there. Trying to get out there and really going for it. Sadly, we've lost Temp immediately. Let's go and have a look at Harv. We're just coming out the centre S's.
Oh.
So Harv, halfway up there. Go through Retifilia. Sorry, Curva del Sol, that one. And
fast right now.
Definitely. Another yellow flag there in Sector 1 and 2, or the gap between the two of them. So, have you memorised your sector times on here yet, Lightning? Tell us whether they're good or bad.
I have no idea what sector time.
Okay, 51 is the timing for Harv. Harv will come up to cross the line, hook the pit wall, I'm sure. Black, white and gold livery for OBF1, straight up there in a 107.3. Sparks already. We know Sparks' pace already. A provisional pole and might well be happy with that banker. What's a 107.0 like in your experience, Lightning?
That is faster than my personal best.
So
that will definitely take him through to Q3, I reckon.
So a nice banker in place. Just looking at Safdar here. Safdar just finishing up the lap. We'll see where he gets to. Is he on his way in? Barreling up the hill. 107.6, so good enough for third place right now. But probably a good banker. And Max is out there. I see Max is out there on the mediums. Going with that strategy you mentioned earlier, Lightning. Potentially seeing where he can start on mediums.
Well, he's only got one set of mediums, so he'd be better off saving me for Q2. If he wanted to do that. He might want an extra set of stuff.
Yeah. So hoping maybe just to get through on these tyres. We'll see where this leaves him. Patterson's gone in with a 108.0 and a 108.4. Sorry, 108.0 for Max, we just rode with on the mediums, and a 108.4 for Patterson, the slowest registered time so far. Let's go and have a look at Leclerc, who has invalidated his first lap, sadly. So it's all about bragging rights here, I think, today. Hi to DeRabster, who joins us on the chat. Would you rather? You know Temp?
Yeah, I was actually in a party chat about half an hour ago with him.
Cool. Would you rather a very slow first lap, just bedding the tyres in, I guess, Lightning?
With this game, you'd be better off going for the freshest tyres possible, not doing anything that.
Yeah.
If you want to save them for the race. I don't think there'd be much performance.
So how many sets are they starting this setup with?
I think that you have 4 sets of softs and 1 medium, and then Q3 you get an extra set of softs.
Got it. But potentially they're likely to only need 2 sets of softs maximum for the race. Yeah. Untouched. Yeah. So a purple sector for Would You Rather through sector 2. Certainly got the heat into the tyres and got the car under him. Would You Rather heading for the line. Crosses it with a P3, 107.4. Quite likely to be safe if you get in the 107s, we would estimate, yeah.
Max is going for another lap.
Great stuff. Let's follow Max then.
Bit wide. Bit over clear. It's easy to look up through here.
Sparks isn't impressed with his own lap. Ooh, this car looks loose under Max, doesn't it?
The running quite an aggressive setup. That makes me think that the race is probably a little dry.
Going for top speed and shedding the downforce. Max only a very small amount, a 0.084 faster, and no improvement in his position. Who else have we not seen yet? We've got Lasser. I'll say Lasser. He's invalidated, sadly. Lil Jim has gone second on a 107.1. But so far the team's really evenly spread between the grid. No one really dominating this Q1 session. I wonder if we'll get equal cars eliminated from this session or not.
Pistol is going for a lap.
Let's check in with team captain Pistol.
Up the hill. It's just after the 50 meters. Can go flat out if you get the line right. It's very difficult.
Yeah, and Pistol's made no effort whatsoever to coordinate helmet and race suit. I know there is a driver out there who's gone for it. Well, a yellow in sector 2. I think it's just drivers getting out of the way and not bulking each other, so no drama in terms of penalties. We are running strict corner cutting though. Sparks hoping for a 6.7 tonight, I think. So a small improvement there from Pistol. Not a stellar first time. I'm sure he'll be wanting to get out there and go again. But there's 9 minutes left of Q1. Just watching Kieran. Say again?
Max is going for a third flying lap on those mediums.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe he didn't get any practice in, so he's just getting a feel for the track.
So we've got two Kierans. We've got Kieran with a C, Kieran Rees, and Kira Barr racing for opposite teams tonight. So that's going to be slightly interesting. Might have to go by Rees and Barr. That one.
Let's go by Rees and Barr then.
Good stuff. We've also got a SpongeBob out there. But,
brilliant. Lovely program.
How is Rees doing here? About to cross the beams. I think he's on a cool down lap. Might well be heading in the pits. Yeah, definitely. Looked a little bit pedestrian, didn't it? So let's have a look at Marcus. Rocking a bit of a Senna helmet livery going on there. Perhaps that's a guest helmet just for the crowd. Get the crowd on your side. Yeah. There's got some traffic ahead as well. Teammate. That was Patterson. Now, I'm not sure who Patterson is actually representing with that livery. Is he a wild card?
Yeah, he's a rebel.
Marcus, P9. So it gets in the 107s, 107.771. Nice middle of the road kind of time as they stand at the moment.
That should be good, I reckon.
Yeah, so well, it's certainly got plenty of drivers behind him. Who have we yet to see out there?
Nick.
Yeah, is he working in the wheel? He is. So Mitch down there. Patterson retired from the session, so won't be going any faster certainly. I think that will see him eliminated. The session is just Q1, isn't it? So I suppose there's an outside chance. Safdar has crashed as well. Won't go through. We won't be seeing him anymore as Mitch gets a 107.4. Nice safe time, P8 provisionally. But really we need to be watching the guys a bit further down the grid, see if they can get a good banker lap in. Here is team captain for Delta Pace, Chris Summit. He's got a car in front of him. Be hoping he is fair and gets out of the way. Oh, that was tight. That was pretty tight on the time. Sparks has got underneath the 107s, as has Taylor. So it's punch counter punch at the front. Lightning looking good.
Yeah, showdown.
Yeah, well,
top 5 is very, very close.
one of the advantages I think of doing full qualifying is that when we get to the really scorching laps in the end of Q3, we will know roughly who to be watching.
Very good point.
So up the hill goes team captain, and he goes in P10 with a 107.6. Hopefully for him that'll be safe. Difficult to lead the team from the back. The only car yet to set a time is CDMJW. I'm going to have to say CDM for that one. And he's on his way in. He's got 5 minutes remaining. really aggressive into the pit lane because he's invalidated so far and be looking for a better lap. Sparks, I think Sparks might be, is he on a hot lap?
I think Bar
He is, and he's lost it.
Oh no.
Just on that curb you warned the drivers about at the start, Lightning, through the first part of the Center S.
He's got all his wheels.
Yeah. What about Marcus? Marcus is cruising, so I think, would you rather, who did I just see was on a lap? Would you rather, just about to start, perhaps you could talk us through this lap for us, Lightning, it might make a bit more sense now.
Braking at the 50-meter board, third gear, open up the right hand with a bit of good exit, up to 320 kilometers an hour, more, 75 meter, brake, you brake really light there, very well, fourth gear, big traction, up the hill, very good at 25 meters, flat out with right hander, don't go wide. Third gear, good entry. Nice flowing to the left hander. Nice traction out of the corner. He would lock up through here, but he does not. Very difficult traction for the short shift. It's done very well. Flat out, left hander. 25 meter brake. Third gear. Short shift to fourth. Up the hill. Get to about 330 kilometers an hour again. Go to the inside for the shortest run. It's going to be a good lap, I reckon.
We'll get to 7th, but a small improvement, a 1/10 improvement. Very nicely done through there. SpongeBob just deposes him as well and gets himself a P7 provisionally. So still waiting on times for CDM, and I think Bar and Pistol will be certainly looking forward to gaining a few seconds on the way through here. Bar, Temp and CDM still haven't set times, but Temp won't be setting a time. He will certainly be starting from the back. Unless
CDM is on a lap.
Yeah, let's join him. CDM representing OBF1.
Nice run. Quite fast. Really focused. Right hander. Flat out through here. He does. Very flowing. Get it over here. Very difficult through here. He gets it down quite well.
Car gets very light.
Very
Moving south.
I think that he's running quite an overspeed.
So hoping to make overtakes in the race, I guess, or defend from them. Up the hill, crosses the beam on a 107.3, a significant lap for him and a nice improvement. Should see him safe. Currently, P15 is the first of the 108s. So really, just Bar left to see how he gets on. Oh, gone for a really lurid green here for Bar. And we'll follow him along and see how he gets on. All the pressure on, really is high pressure time now in Q3. One chance. What can we do with it into SA?
This lap hasn't been the best so far.
So heading into Pico di Pato.
I don't think he'll get through.
Oh. Okay, we'll see how we get on. It's definitely worth sticking the time in and going again. He will cross the line with plenty of time to go. Let's go awkward on the way up the hill there. Sometimes just to trigger that pit lane entry, and you can invalidate on the very last gasp of your lap. But I think Kieran Barr will keep running. Spark saying this is the closest field he's ever raced in.
I was about to say, it's absolutely incredible.
It really is, right at the front there.
top 14, 6/10 of a second. That's absolutely insane.
People have brought their A game to this league versus league battle, and that's exactly what we want. Clearly, it's racing for pride of your league. So we just lost Leclerc, obviously pushing the envelope a little bit too hard.
He will not make it through.
No, he will not. So currently, Pistol is on the cusp, but unless Kieran Barr can put in an amazing time, he is going a little bit faster than he's been before, so making improvements. The checkered flag falls, so it's just about who crosses the line now. Where's Chris Ammett? Chris is closing out the lap. He's about halfway around the lap at the moment through Ferradura, that glorious fast right-hander.
Did you say Ferradura?
Ferradura.
That is a pudding.
Excellent. There's also the right-hander after, I'm assuming La Rajinia is Little Orange. And SA is the right hand, is the first type right-hander.
Well, Beak with the battle is Duck Beak.
Duck's bill, yeah.
Yeah.
Yun Sao?
Yun Sao is Junction.
Excellent stuff. We're talking with Lightning here, who, though he sounds English, is actually in Portugal. So our Portuguese expert.
He's also like stick two things together, like.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. So we're on the end of Q1. Kieran Barr just crossing the line. He did make a really good improvement there, 6/10. So well done to Kieran for making that improvement. Will not start right at the back. We'll be starting in 19th position should we have any further penalties or dramas. But again, nice even spread of colours throughout the teams. We got Sparks getting through first of all from Taylor Max, Lil Jim, Safdar. Wow.
That is incredible.
Brakazan, SpongeBob, Would You Rather Have, CDM, then Mitch, Lasse, Marcus, Chris Ammett, and Pistol, with the eliminated drivers being Leclerc, Reese, Patterson, Barr, and Temp. Last of all, with no time. Everybody getting their times done on medium tyres. No one managed to get through using mediums. So, super close field. And we head on into Q2, where we'll see another 5 drivers eliminated. I wonder what it's going to be difficult to pick it's going to be really hard to pick a driver to watch for the poll. Sorry, Lightning.
It certainly is. Pistol Racing collided with Would You Rather, and he's now got a 5-place grid penalty.
Ooh, painful. So, team captain.
Sadly, he was right on the cut-off point, so
he was
get, really down the order.
Indeed. So probably starting far at the back then, as Sparks again heads out first on track. And we'll ride along with Sparks perhaps and see. Drivers should have all their setups together, should be ready to go. So stay with them. Dry sunshine, and Sparks just toying with track limits there on his outlap. But yeah, sunshine again. I wonder if we will have any weather. I mean, obviously everything is weather, but any interesting weather, shall we say? I look forward to seeing anything on that front. But Sparks just spooling the car up. He's already got his foot flat to the floor as he heads on up the hill. And we'll stay with Sparks as we go through the lap. Maximising the track width, just pulling the car in before the grass section. Looking smooth.
Very good.
Very, very nice. Didn't use all the track on the way out of the Center S's and into Curva del Sol. Yeah. I thought he was going for a cheeky slipstream from the person coming out of the pits. Gets the car down into the apex beautifully there. Sparks got this track nailed on. Knows what he's doing. Hoping to keep his advantage at the head of the field, but it was mighty tight. Now he's looking for a 6.7. It's his fastest lap. Purple's that middle sector. Opens the DRS. And no, it ticks over the 107s. I don't think he's going to be happy with that one. So 107.3 is the first time lap. Needs to get on and get out of everybody's way for the next lap. So we're just watching Mitch, who we didn't see much of in Q1. Mitch just finishing out the lap now. I do have to say, I think the OBF1 cars do look a little bit better to my view. What's your opinion, Lightning? I know you like brighter colours than I do. Mitch just he crossed the line on a 108.3, and I think he might be going again. CDM went in with a 108.0. I wonder if track conditions have changed slightly. Mitch 0.3 under his time, so might well be able to leapfrog CDM in this session on this lap. Rakraxen has validated half, just cruising around on an out lap or an in lap. Max locking heavily into the Center S's on his hot lap. It's not going to help you run through and down that back straight. Very slow time from Marcus. I wonder if he got caught in traffic and bailed that lap. Max is going through here, through Ferradura. I always thought Ferradura would be kind of like hard iron. That's how I would have translated it. But you say it's a dessert.
I think Ferradura is a dessert.
Ah. Through then to Yun Sao. Purple section for Max. Could just be versus his own time on this first run through Q2. I don't know quite how the algorithm works for full quali. I usually commentate on short quali sessions. Max up and over the line. Great time. We had him on screen for virtually the whole lap, a 106.9 and a provisional pole. So I think you'd be pretty pleased with that lap and the fact that we were watching it the whole way through.
I think they'll get through.
I think so. I think it's pretty safe to say, yeah. I really need help with this guy's name, Rakraxen. Which section of it do I read? Which do I leave alone? I think he's our Turkish driver tonight, so if anyone knows in the stream, let me know how best to pronounce this name. I'm struggling with that one. Anyway, he's going to catch a beautiful toe coming up the hill from Chris Summit. Is he coming in the pits? No, he's just trying to get the inside line on that car, try and pull him up the hill. He gets a P4 with a 107.9. There's a big hole in those times between the top two and P3 for a lot of drivers to slot into shortly. Let's have a look at Lasse Lawson. He's invalidated sadly, so there won't be any time set here. What about Chris Summit, team captain, purple first sector. And it looks like he's either got rice or some sort of ice cream toppings on the red half of his helmet.
Clark has said that he's really slow today and he can't get a good lap in. Which is confusing because that lap was really good.
Yeah, certainly the Q1 lap was nailed on, wasn't it? Chris Summit at 51.0 through sector 2, so This one should be pretty competitive. Ooh, P4 lost a little bit on the way up the hill, 107.4, but gets into that gap there between Sparks and Marcus.
Surprising considering he's on soft.
Yeah, we've got a medium runner here, which is Would You Rather. Should say Taylor in second place has got ahead of Sparks on a 107.294. Would You Rather heading in the pits without having registered a time. So interesting approach there. Little Jim is on a hot lap though. Purple's the first sector with a 16.8. Medium tyres, as Lightning mentioned earlier, the preferred starting tyre for a medium soft strategy. Of course, bearing in mind we don't know if the weather is on dynamic or not, but if it is, then this is Brazil. Yellow flag in sector 3 for Lil Jim, so he just needs to be slightly aware there might be a slow car around. Another purple sector, this one could be hot. He has gone for a great matching livery and helmet design tonight. I think I got a little preview of that earlier on Discord. Breaks the timing beam at 107.5, again losing quite a lot of time in that second sector, in that third sector relative to
Maybe
Max.
possibly running higher downforce.
Yeah, so a 107.5 should see him safe and through to Q3. But
Is finishing with that.
he is, yeah. We'll watch him as he goes over.
But he's got P7. You might have to do another one.
Yeah, it's quite possible, given the guys that are still to set times out there. What about Half? Half is going into Bigudi Pato. Taking a lot of, I think he got slight oversteer into the apex there and had to just slightly come out of the steering lock. Very easy, yeah. Through Yun Sound, not troubling the curb too much on the way in.
The CRS is low, it's going to reduce his power quite a lot. Going down to
Right, okay. Half not electing to log a time there. We've got 5 minutes left of Q2. So plenty of time to get out there. I mean, I would have thought it was time to set a banker and go round and still pit, right?
Personally, I would have set a banker lap on an old set of softs and then gone on medium.
Okay.
With extra fuel, just in case.
Yeah.
So,
One of Lightning's many animals joining us on stream for a moment there. Safdar is out there just finishing up the lap. Let's see what he can produce. Purple middle sector. But it is his first registered time, so purples don't tend to mean quite as much. Lasse has gone in as a 107.2 as Safdar gets P2, just slightly over the P1 time of Max. Got another driver just pop the time in. Okay, let's follow Would You Rather then. There he goes.
medium. Very clean run through the centre end.
Yeah, no wheel spin.
Hopefully the car in front gets back away. They do very well. Another one.
The waters are parting in front of Would You Rather. Yeah.
This is going to be a really good lap, I reckon.
Yeah.
Going well so far.
Yeah, really can't fault absolutely anything on here.
Through
Look,
here, you may
shots.
get oversteered. Very difficult to get a good run.
Yeah.
Goes very well.
I tend to short shift through that approach to Yonsao as well. Just pull the car into the apex with the gear, and he goes up the hill. Lightning's called this one as a hot lap. see how it transpires, going from P15 up to P11. So not
Very sharp.
dramatic, but it looked good. It certainly looked good. So maybe it wasn't quite pushing
Oh no.
too hard as he makes a mistake. He's got 3 minutes to get around and get his next lap on. Just keeping aware of traffic. Doesn't want to. He's retired. Not happy. I don't think. Would you rather? Not happy from that. But maybe he would rather start P11 Lightning.
Possibly, but most of the people in the top 10 are medium.
We've certainly got the middle two, Sparks and Chris Summit, on mediums right now as we join half through Curva del Sol, and you can see why it's Curva del Sol. The sun is right in your eyes going through there. Through Ferradura into SA.
I was very wrong. Most of the people in the top 10 are on top.
Tried to cover that. Can you increase your volume on your mic or hold it a little bit closer for us, please, Lightning, if possible? No problem. People are dying to hear what you've got to say. As half heads on up the hill after Yonsal, screams towards the line. This should see a good gain up to P7 with a 107.3, but soft tyres will have two medium tyred runners starting behind him for definite. What about Pistol? Where is he at the moment? Because he really needs to get this lap in. Starting the lap just now, but he's gone for softs. A little bit of oversteer through the second part of the Senna S's. Apparently Pistol is a staunch defender of position. That's his key strength, as he invalidates. So it's all going wrong. He just needs to back out, protect these tyres and get round in time to start his final lap. There won't be a time for a pit stop here. Who've we got out there? What about Mitch? Mitch is touring. I think Mitch might be just warming up the tyres for one final hot run. But Chris Samet is on a lap at the moment, just getting the car hooked nicely into La Reina. This is Pinerino. Pico de Pato is a slight oversteering moment on the way out. And Mergulio is the entry corner towards Yonsal. A little bit of oversteer, a little bit of loss of traction. I don't know if it's enough to see him increase his pace. We've had a good lap set towards the front, as no, that time was no good for Chris Samet. He won't be starting higher than 11th. He did cross the timing beam, but looked out of shape on the way through the first corner, at least to my eye. Marcus is slow. What about SpongeBob? Purple middle sector for him. Can SpongeBob go better than P13?
He's going to knock out Spark. And he's got a slipstream. He's
got a great slipstream here from a teammate. Wow, straight into pole from SpongeBob at the death of the first session. Sparks, what's going on? You'll be starting in P11 or worse. Wow, real turn up for the books there. Those medium tyres did nothing for his strategy, because he could have started on fresh mediums with the benefit of hindsight.
He still can, because you get an extra step through.
Yeah, but he could have, gone a bit higher. But potentially no improvement from Pistol either. No one, I don't think, is going any quicker. What about Lil Jim? Is he on a lap, or has he closed everything off? He's off. That's it. Time is up for our drivers. So we sadly lose Sparks. That's the big headline, with team captain and teammate Chris Summit behind him. Then Marcus, the other team captain from OBF1, in P14, and Would You Rather, all against the grain and against the bookies' odds, down there in P15. Wow.
Pistol rating is going to start 19th.
Yeah, with that penalty, of course. You're right. So Pistol even further back. We'll be looking to get on up the grid a bit more. Sparks. You can hear the heartbreak in his comment there. Really sorry to see Sparks out, but it's we'll look forward to seeing him start from 11th, I guess.
A fight through the field.
Yeah, indeed. We close out the session. We'll just wait for 2 cars to cross the line, and there they go.
Hopefully everybody can hear me better.
Well, you don't sound any different to me, but that very much depends how it comes through. That's why I didn't say anything before. There was no problem in my ear anyway. SpongeBob, as we saw, get that provisional pole through, or at least, should we say, the fastest time through Q2, followed closely by Max. A great lap from SpongeBob. CDM, Lil Jim, Safdar, Brokaxon, Mitch, Lassie, Taylor and Harv, and then eliminated are Sparks, Chris Samet, Marcus Pistol. And Would You Rather will start from 15th position on the grid. And we get going for our final part of qualifying.
Lil Jim has got quite severely worn soft tyres.
Right.
He's done two laps on them.
We'll look for him from perhaps the first pit stop then.
Probably about 12% wear.
Yeah. It's not going to help. Anyway, the fastest 10 drivers tonight are getting ready for this 12-minute sprint quali. And we'll see who gets out there first. It won't be Sparks, as it was in the first 2 sessions. Thanks to Andre for the audio assistance. Hi to Patty, who I presume is Patterson, and Georgios, who's a supporter of both leagues, it sounds like. Definitely sitting on the fence. Mitch heading out the pits, everyone looking to get going, but it's Harv who gets out there first with a teammate right behind him. If they can coordinate that, it'll be very useful for fast times. I wonder if anyone will start playing the game of catching toes behind one another. I'm hoping for a fairly easy to read points finish here between the 2 teams. I don't want it too difficult. My maths are nowhere near good enough, Lightning, to do it if they've alternated positions through the top 10 in the finishing order.
I forgot the white cars are for Delta?
OBF1 is white, gold and black. Yeah, their main colours are black and gold. And yeah, Delta Pace is the green with red stripe. Red and green should never be seen in the fashion world, at least, as far as I've heard.
Not sure about that.
No?
It says Ferrari.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Dayglow green on the Ferrari this year should definitely never be seen. But we get going with Harv on a fast lap. Little overspeed through part 2 of the Senna S's, Lightning.
Possibly. Didn't get to see it.
Okay. Late braking then into Dessa de Lago is that turn after the straight. Descent towards the lake.
Very fast to the right-hander.
He was.
Nice apex. The car flows through here. Brake just as the grass appears.
So now let's hope they don't resurface that curb next year.
Looking forward to this race in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. We head on up the hill again with Harv, and gets a 106.9. I'm pretty happy with that, but Taylor immediately behind him goes even faster, a 106.8. Who's next? It won't be Lasse, he's invalidated. Lil Jim is out there, is he?
Yeah, he's finishing his lap.
So at the moment it's 2 OBF1s at the front. Make that 3 with a 107.5. Look how close these guys are. 0.3 between the top 3. Perfect early laps there from OBF1. as Safdar goes in and interrupts that nice neat pattern we had going on. Safdar P2 106.9 and has left the session. I think, is he just happy? Is that it?
Had an accident.
Well, I was just riding with him and I didn't see anything dramatic.
Very weird.
Yeah. Max though out there just avoiding a little bit of traffic would have been a small distraction for him.
Apparently the point system is very easy to memorise. It's 20 points for first and 1 point for 20th.
Oh sweet, okay. Thanks for that.
Yes.
Thanks for the team captain there. Yeah, it makes a lot of it makes it very easy for us to spot and it keeps the scoring nice and tight. Max P4 for OBF1 with 107.0, just ahead of teammate Lil Jim, just behind teammate Harv. So we need to see some better times here from the 3 Delta Pace drivers in the field. They really need to get up there at the front of the grid, otherwise this one is going to be a walkthrough for OBF1 with just Safdar up there in the top group. So riding with Lasse Lawson, purple sector through sector 2 and heading on up the hill. Can he get him in amongst all those white cars at the front? If it's all white cars at the front, that's going to make commentary pretty difficult. Crosses the line there on a 6th position, so just gets ahead of CDM, and that's all so far. But there's a big window there between Lasse and CDM for the rest of the drivers to slot into. Where's SpongeBob going to go this time? He took that provisional pole at the death of Q2, so I don't know if he'll be wanting to get a similar time in as early as possible. I'm sure.
Very late braking.
Yes, you know, jiggling the car around under braking there. He's on his way up the hill to cross the line. Just a 107.3, so a much slower than we were expecting. I wanted fireworks there from SpongeBob. Certainly, yeah, interesting lines across the track, but thankfully there's no one around him to get it. He's not getting in anybody's way on a hot lap. You can see on the track map, so no harm, no foul in that respect. Mitch out there, just still warming up the tyres. Don't know if anybody else is out actually on a hot lap. I don't think so, because we've just seen SpongeBob. I think everyone just consolidating their times. Mitch has gone for an offset strategy here just to get a nice clear lap away from the traffic. Usually a good call.
P5, I reckon. P5.
For Mitch?
Yep.
I thought he was on an outlap. Is he not?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm guessing you'll get.
Okay.
The end of that.
Well, that will mean that you're, at worst, you're the minimum amount wrong you can be if you guess P5 out of 10.
Very true. Exactly why I did it.
Of course, P5 give or take 4. But yeah, Bukaxon is on his way out of the pits and doesn't trouble Mitch, who gets a purple first sector. It was a bit wide, and oh, bad news. So slows the car right down and looks to get out there and start again. I think the only car we've got actually running in anger is Bukaxon.
Nope.
Who have you got?
Bukaxon is an outlap.
Yeah. But no one's on anything even faster than that lap just yet. I don't think Mitch is going to restart. I think he'll go in the pits.
It would make sense, unless he's already used up all his tyres.
Yeah. But you can burn through these tyres at to your heart's content.
No, he's not going to another one. He's going to the pit.
Here comes Bukaxon, then let's ride with him as he gets the sun in his eyes. Late setting sun and lots of lens flare if he's driving with the T-cam. Pretty sure most people will be driving on the T-cam.
The best camera. I know some people prefer cockpit to cockpit.
Yeah, I want to drive cockpit, I really do. But I do find the Halo quite an encumbrance. I tend to drive cockpit in the classic cars. It's a lot more fun.
I agree. Very fast right-hander.
Yeah, looking tidy.
Okay.
Not pushing anything beyond the limit.
Quite a conservative lap, I reckon. Quite wide through there.
So
But he still gets a purple sector.
I think that's relative to himself because it's his first hot lap.
Might well second in the pole.
Yeah. But crosses the line. Oh, 107, 106.9. So that was undramatic and quick from Brakaxon there, really spoiling the OBF1 party at the front. Let's see, Lil Jim's just starting his lap with his beautifully coordinated race gear on. Definitely like to see that kind of thing.
Here you can brake just after the shadow ends.
Or, you know, they say never to use shadows as your reference point.
I know, but I've been noticing it, and it does work.
Oh, through Ferradura and La Rajinha, definitely got some great lines going on. Won't know until he's out of this corner quite how good this lap is. Taylor's gone fastest so far, and Lil Jim is going faster than he's been before. This does look good enough for pole, doesn't it?
Really does.
Just point the car in the right direction, nothing left to do with the feet, and crosses the line at 106.7. Beautiful time from Little Jim. That's the best we've seen tonight. 106.788. Glorious time. Get back to the pits and take the plaudits. CDM is on a lap, but he's got a teammate directly in front of him.
Giving him victory?
No, I think CDM's decided just to call it. I don't think this is a competitive. No, it's definitely not a competitive run. He's going to have to hurry up if he wants to get through, though. Oh, is it time for fireworks for SpongeBob? Just watch.
No, he's had a really bad exit.
Oh dear.
That's going to lose him 2, maybe 3 tenths.
Watching with Lasse Lawson, who is on a lap now from P8. These margins are so tight, though. A matter of a couple of tenths, and he will be a couple of rows ahead. So Lasse Lawson.
Looking fast.
Yeah, definitely. Cheeky upshift there. Yeah, yellow. And where does he cross this time in beam? He's 3 tenths up. This is big. This is really, really huge for Lasse Lawson, who could jump considerably up this grid from P8 as we scream up the hill. Let's see what's he going to do for Delta. They need him up there. Pole position. 106.737. But we are not done yet, folks. There's more laps to come. SpongeBob's on a lap. How's it looking at the moment? I'll just check in with Taylor, who's 2 tenths up on his time. Is he going to steal pole from a celebrating Lasse Lawson? He's going to get a tow if he can from Half up ahead. I think Half's pulling him up the hill. This looks deliberate. All the way up. Pole for Taylor. Look at that, a 106.566. Surely that's unbeatable tonight.
Amazing.
Well, where's SpongeBob? He's not going to go any faster. The only one left is Brakaxon, and he's already invalidated at the very death of Q3. Taylor gets pole with 106.566, and I think he owes his teammate Harv a drink after that one. I'm pretty sure Harv was headed to the pits, but decided to pull his teammate up the hill.
That was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Really exciting.
Yeah, brilliant end to Q3. So we have OBF1 with Delta Pace next to him on the grid. Then an all OBF1 second row and all Delta Pace third row.
I feel really bad for SpongeBob because he got a really bad exit the last turn, and I think he invalidated as well. He could definitely make it into the top 5, considering his Q2 time.
Oh, brilliant stuff! That was a cracking session of quali there, wasn't it? Brilliant, brilliant stuff.
I am going to get a drink, so I'll be right back.
Okay, remember we don't have a formation lap, so we need to. Well, folks, what did you make of that? I hope you're enjoying it as much as Lightning and I are. Fabulous stuff, and what a time in the end there from Taylor. Just watch the cars cool down as we get ready for the race to start. Brilliant session, and the times are super tight. Definitely say though that the impetus and the momentum is with OBF1, because OBF1 will take pole, represented by Taylor, with that celebrated pole position time we've already talked about. Lasse Lawson in second place, then Max with Lil Jim beside him, then we've got Safdar and Brakaxon for Delta Prime on the third row. Starting P7 is Harv with CDM behind him. Then we've got Mitch, and SpongeBob will be P10, who we know has got great pace in the race, but I don't think it's easy to call any result between these guys. Look at this, 4/10 in the top 8, so fantastic pace, very equal performance, but of course we've got to get through the Center S's and through Descida del Lago without incident, which is not a foregone conclusion by any stretch. You see the front wings lined up outside the garages there, and it's bright sunshine, Lightning.
Okay, that's a shame. I was hoping for some wet weather.
Absolutely. We haven't had a weather update, but it does look pretty bright and clear right now. We're going for a 50% race around Autodromo Carlos Pache in Sao Paulo. Pit boxes busy with multiple iterations of Jeff sitting on the prep perches, and we're ready to go straight away.
Wow.
It's lights out and go with Taylor and Lasse Lawson pulling alongside him. Taylor sweeps across the front. Beautiful move as it leaves Lasse Lawson just defending. He's lost 2 positions, 3 positions now, all from OBF1. As they scream up the hill, Lasse Lawson, the sole representative here, as the OBF1 team are just all kind of fighting and bickering among themselves as we head down to Descida del Lago, and everyone through first time without issue. A good, clean start from our drivers so far.
Always good to keep it clean. Very easy to get front wing damage at the start for a spin.
We've got, I think that's Safdar going around the outside of half. I don't think he's been able to make it stick. Just yielded in time to get out of the way, as just up ahead, CDM gets ahead of Safdar, who had a compromised line coming out, and that leaves, I think, Max hot on Lasse Lawson's tail with he's going to be pulling Lil Jim up the hill at the same time. Max riding up here, he's going to get a tremendous tow up the hill. Taylor away, hoping to break that slipstream and break that DRS skip.
To the front.
Yeah, Lasse Lawson I think got into the back, didn't he, and just lost the tail of the car. He's dropped down to 5th. Will he lose any more places, or he's managed to gain back from that tow at the front? It's party time at the moment for OBF1. Look at this, 4 OBF1s in the top 4. At the moment, we're looking at Brookaxon has had the nightmare start and gone down to 12 positions down to P18, I should say. Oh, Lasse cutting across the track. He lost the car on braking. Ghosting didn't enact quick enough, and he wipes out one of the OBF1 cars. I don't think that was deliberate.
Not the best way to start lap 2.
It's absolutely not. He was right up there. I don't think, as I say, I don't think that was deliberate, but he has ended up with a DSQ. That's our first loss from the race. We will get a yellow flag. I think someone decided to pit, but the car pulls over. Well, Max is getting past Taylor for the lead. Some cooperation going on there just to get the cars further up the grid and away from Delta Pace.
Little Jim is in the pits. He may have wing damage.
How did you call it? It must have been Little Jim that got wiped out by Lasse Lawson. How did you call that one, Lightning?
Sadly, I wasn't watching that part at the time,
well,
which is a shame.
It looked like he lost it under braking. I don't think it was a deliberate apex cut. But so far we do have Safdar, the only driver to be where he started in P5 up and down the grid, apart from Patterson, who is in the pits. He's currently back where he started, but dramatic opening lap. Bad news for Lil Jim. Lasse Lawson, of course, out of the race, and like I said before, sad to see we're down to 19 runners, but at the moment it's all going OBF1's way.
I was expecting Lawson to get the lead, considering he's on the softs.
Yeah.
The first 8 to 10 laps, the softs are going to be quite good. But that didn't come into fruition.
No.
Sadly.
I think Taylor potentially letting his teammate by there because they're on split strategies. As we've got close racing now between Harv and we've got there CDM just defending from Safdar around the outside, a little bit of wheel banging, sort themselves out before they get into Decido del Lago and head up the hill now back to Ferradura, just treating those soft tyres gently.
Max in the lead has been using quite a lot of ERS, 30% at the moment.
Well, he wants to get away from the chasing pack. At this stage, he'll be in the worst position for tyres. I forget now, Lightning, who did you call as being on the on 2 lap old tyres but to start the race?
I think it was CDM possibly? No, it may have been Max.
Looks like we've got Safdar is the closest driver to another one between the two teams, but he is in the DRS train because CDM has managed to get DRS from half ahead, so no change of position. It looks like Would You Rather making up a place there though, further down the field, getting temp and making good his recovery lap. Where's SpongeBob? SpongeBob is 8th. We've just seen Safdar off on the grass momentarily. I think he's recovered the car, but that was dramatic.
Oh no, Sparks is in the wall.
Sparks is gone. What happened?
Side by side with Mitch, I think, and he got pushed onto the grass, then lost the car and went into the barrier.
Right, well, glad you were there watching. We've got a VSC. I was watching Safdar, who'd already gone on the grass just ahead of them, but again we've lost another one of the Delta Pace cars, and the top 4 are with it's all OBF1 tonight so far.
Safdar is carrying the name.
Yeah, absolutely. Only he and Leclerc are in the top 10 for Delta Pace. Speaking of Delta Pace,
Drive-through penalty with Reese.
Yeah.
That's not going to help.
No, absolutely. But he'll be relying on his teammates to help out here. Safdar's got up into P4 as we see CDM trying to get past Taylor and Safdar wanting a piece of that one. Safdar too greedy on the way in, and we see another Delta Pace off the track. Another yellow flag as he's dropping down, and that now means What's that now? P9 for Safdar. So it's now the top 8, all with OBF1. I did feel like Safdar was just a little bit on the greedy side, trying to get a piece of that overtake between CDM and Taylor. Didn't look like that was on for me. So we're going to have to talk about inter-team battles now at the front, with Taylor close behind CDM, and he's got half behind him as the 3 cars head on up the hill all together. I think Taylor's got a better shot here of making a pass, but they're perhaps just slightly too far away from each other. CDM does not have DRS. I think Taylor might be going for it in the second one.
Very low on ERS. Meanwhile, HT has 100% battery.
Wow, so been saving up that battery on those medium tyres.
Not using it just yet.
No, just wanting to keep it. But if you keep your ERS on 100%, you're not gaining anything from it, are you?
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Oh, safety car.
Safety car. So is that Pistol team captain,
yes,
on the way down? Well, what a shame. Pistol on his way out. I wonder what happened to him. Hopefully he's already in our party. He can join us and tell us, or join us back on stream. But Pistol out of the race. We haven't heard from Sparks, unfortunately. I wonder why that is, because normally he's usually quite ready to communicate on the stream. But yeah, full on safety car, lap 7. This is pit stop window, right, for the soft runners?
I would go until lap 14, Socks.
Right. But
you can
Max disagrees. Max disagrees. He peels off into the pits. CDM further behind does not. Taylor obviously won't. It doesn't look like anybody else apart from Max and SpongeBob have decided that now is a good time to pit. How are the hard tyres around here? Because that's surely their option right now.
No, Max is going over another set of the softs. Hard tyres aren't very good, in my opinion, but
okay.
Max is choosing another set of the soft tyre.
So
and Leclerc DNFs.
Wow. Is that one of those safety car accidents that we see so often with the cars? Hard tyres for Brakaxon and Safdar and Marcus. They've gone on the hard. So has Temp, Would You Rather, and Patterson. So those are the guys who could probably afford that different strategy and afford to try something different to everybody else. But that means that your leader now is indeed CDM on the soft tyres, 7-lap-old softs. Taylor in the pound seats here on medium tyres. Right directly behind him we've got Harv, followed by Mitch, and then the next medium runner is Reese. Max is on softs, and then it's Chris Samet and SpongeBob. Chris Samet has gone up a few places there running those mediums. Better strategy potentially, but all these guys have just got themselves a nice free pit stop.
Max has shown some incredible race pace, so I think he trusts that that speed to make the 2-stop work.
Yeah.
And he's got 7-lap pressure tyres. That's like almost 25 to 30% better.
Excellent.
He's going to be cutting his way through the field.
So Sparks, we're being told Sparks was pushed out by Mitch. Now obviously that's a one-sided review, and we don't have Mitch's perspective just yet, but that's certainly what's being called at the moment. That is what you saw. Okay.
Yep.
Right. We'll take it then.
Reese has a drive-through penalty, I think, so he's going to be peeling off into the pits after the safety car ends.
So will that be a speeding of the pit lane situation?
That was for speeding under the virtual safety car.
Ah, got it. Okay, thank you.
It's a shame, because even if you speed by the smallest of margins, it's always that hard a penalty.
Yes. Yeah, and
So
of course no advantage gained.
Might as well speed by 10 seconds.
Yeah, but then there's a safety car a few laps later anyway, so it hasn't really helped. We do see a lot of safety car variations around Brazil. It's a kind of track that encourages a lot of side-to-side battles, yeah. So Andrew's saying Sparks was the green car that I thought was Safdar. Yeah, maybe that's a fair assessment. So all going wrong for Delta Pace at the moment. I don't see any lights on the safety car going off just yet. Looks like we'll run again, given the level of impact suffered, and possibly the follow-up accident from Leclerc, who DNF'd under this safety car. So
not going very well for Delta.
Well, at the moment, at least, it will be an easy result for us to read when it comes to adding up the points. But yeah, it has somewhat taken the team versus team sting out of this one for the time being. So now it's a matter of racing pride within OBF1. I think certainly the top 5 can afford to fight. Cars all just everything on lean mix, regen, treating the tyres gently. Those soft tyre runners will get a nice jump at the restart, and the hard tyre runners will really struggle, won't they?
Hard tyres around this track,
and cold hard tyres as well, not least.
It's quite difficult to heat up the tyres.
Yeah. I don't know if Kieran Barr will be delaying the safety car with the gap, but he has already been lapped, so I think that will be okay when it comes to the concertina of the safety car. We should be good to go pretty soon.
I feel quite bad for Reese because he's up 11 positions, but he has the drive-through penalty. Yeah.
I'm not sure there's a lot to read into track position at the moment. Or positions gained, should we say, because this safety car has really messed up everybody's strategy. But we are ready to get going again. CDM will become the safety car until he chooses to lead the guys up the hill. He's taking this one he's not creating much of a gap to the safety car ahead. So he's going to have to leave this pretty late before he gets going. Question is, when do we press go? We're still weaving. We're getting to the pit entry point. And we're still weaving, riding with Taylor. Let's head back to Mitch so we get a better view of these two cars. Taylor sort of overlapping, and CDM will go about on grid position 7. Is it all going on down in the grid?
12 is lots of people have wing damage, penalties, disqualifications for ignoring a drive-through penalty.
There goes Reese for ignoring that drive-through. Wow. Okay, so Chris Summit has managed to get up there to P5. That's a glitch, is it? Because of too much time spent under safety car, yeah.
Drive-through under safety car.
Chris Summit leaving some gap on the inside there, with half getting through, but Chris Summit fighting a lone race for his team. It looks like SpongeBob trying to get him come up the inside of Chris. Chris positioning the car well. Just behind them, SpongeBob and Little Jim get very close, but don't get in each other's way too much. It's all about nullifying the journey up the grid of Chris Summit here for OBF1, but he's done great under that safety car period. I wonder what's going on in the party chat for OBF1, and if there is one indeed for Delta Pace. It's probably quite a quiet place to be at the moment for Delta, with just 6th place and then 10th through 15th with the green cars. Chris Summit just doing enough to hold off SpongeBob right now, but I think SpongeBob will stay with him and try and catch a tow coming down the back straight. Although he's got an eye on his mirrors because there's a lot of fuss going on behind him as Safdar launches one up the inside into Desida Dolego. He will get just the overlap. Will he into Ferradura? There's a green car behind him trying to make use of this pass, but no, he yields just to live to fight another day. Launches one up the inside there through La Joreña and gets it done. Brave move, and absolutely compromised the OBF1 car of Marcus, who has lost out to Would You Rather, who was patiently waiting for just that opportunity. Brilliant.
Meanwhile, Max has been making really good moves.
Oh, great.
And he's already up into 3rd place.
Yeah, soft tyres for Max. Fresh soft tyres that have barely done anything under that safety car. So he should be quick right now. Pit window apparently is open for the soft runners, but they really haven't got much of a gap, so they'll be able to extend a little bit after that safety car running. Yeah, looks like Taylor just letting Max go. He knows he's on better tyres, and he'll just try and keep the DRS and maximise his race pace. This looks to be drama going on further down the grid as SpongeBob goes up the inside of Chris Summit, who tries to switch back. SpongeBob just hanging out on the outside. He'll get a better run through Ferradura. That front winging isn't going to last long, running that close to the back of the car ahead. But Chris down to 7th now, struggling on the oldest medium tyres of anybody around him. So not got quite the car under him as the rest of the drivers will feel. Max caught a penalty there in all of that. Up at the front.
3 seconds.
5 for Max.
Ooh, that must be speeding under the pit lane.
Okay.
Without contact on the safety car.
It's super close again down here in the midfield with Lil Jim now on Chris Summit's tail. All kinds of lines going on. Chris Summit closing up very tightly under braking. It's lap 14. We're almost at that halfway period.
6th to 10th place.
It really is very, very close. We're just watching here Safdar getting in the mix. Safdar getting past Little Jim, and Safdar will keep that place, I think, on the outside, which suddenly becomes the inside through Ferradura. Safdar has got those hard tyres working at the moment. Certainly matching Little Jim behind him. Oh, up comes Would You Rather as well. Very nice move. He's really just sitting there waiting for Safdar to go kamikaze, and Would You Rather just follows him in. Great moves here. Looks like Little Jim fighting back though. Yeah, you can do that here. Oh, a wipeout. Looks like a wipeout moment. Yeah, really lost the car, did Would You Rather, and took out Little Jim. And Little Jim must be wondering what he's got to do tonight to get round this track without being hit. Again, innocent party.
Yep.
Would You Rather's gone.
Front right.
Brakaxon is getting past Marcus there into P9, so it's changing around a little bit with Delta Prime. Why do I keep saying Delta Prime? Delta Pace now occupying 7th, 8th, and 9th positions, but there's a little bit of a gap to SpongeBob with Kieran Barr down there in 13th place right now, which will become 12th pretty soon because he'll get on by Little Jim. He'll get by Would You Rather. And we really only have 4 Delta Pace cars left in the race tonight. Meanwhile, let's go back towards the front as Mitch is 5 tenths behind CDM, and he's got Harv right behind him as well. These 3 drivers all on soft tyres. All on the same strategy from the beginning. Will they pit together? Will they offset their pit stops? No one going for the underlap this time round, so the tyres still lasting through into lap 16 quite nicely. You called lap 17, right, Lightning, for a normal race?
For the soft tyres, I was going to say lap 14. But you can go to 16 without it being too bad.
But they've had, what, 2 laps under the safety car and a VSC period, so that we'll have had time, but you'd think that potentially Harv or SpongeBob would, Mitch or Harv would pit the opposite of CDM and try and get an undercut here.
Well, if you've been trying to overtake for the past few laps, so you haven't found a way, you've got to do the opposite strategy.
You have to.
You just get stuck.
Absolutely, and the longer you leave it, the less of an offset you'll get, because your tyre, you won't have that opportunity to stay out if your rival goes in. Because your tyres are shot. But these guys will be leaving themselves 20 laps on the medium. I'm assuming that won't be a problem for them on deck.
I'm very surprised at the pace that Max has, because in qualifying I wasn't really seeing many.
Oh, the first car in the train comes in. Sorry about that, but CDM comes in, so he's going to be the first one to make the move. He's going for the undercut, yeah, but he has no places to gain. He needs to defend his place. So you say Max's speed coming as a bit of a surprise to you?
Race pace has been amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
In my opinion.
Still yet to make a pit stop though. We've got Taylor on those mediums, but he has the same number of pit stops to make as Max ahead of him. So this gap, it probably won't differ too much, although I imagine, of course, Taylor will be on faster tyres at the end, so he needs to keep Max within sight, really.
If he can keep this gap, he'll be in a very, very, very good position.
Absolutely. Marcus is close behind Brookaxon. That's kind of your closest team-on-team battle. Oh, looks like Harv is getting very, very close up the hill. Will he do the opposite of Mitch? Surely it's time to do that move now. Mitch flirting with the pit lane wall. Yeah, and that's exactly what Harv does. He goes, and it's hammer time for Harv. This is the time to really set the timing screens alight. See what he's got, about 50% ERS. So he can afford to spend a little bit on this lap without leaving himself too vulnerable at the end. Setting a nice fast time, considering that he's on his oldest set of softs on the track. To be only a quarter of a second off your best is pretty handy. So Harv hoping here to get ahead of the cars that were ahead of him, and that was CDM and Mitch. CDM has managed to stay ahead of Mitch, you can see there, 1.2 seconds. He's actually extended that gap on those new tyres, so we will wait and see what Harv does.
He has to go in the pits.
He must, yeah. Maybe a lap too long for him from the ideal, but he was really forced into this, because the only thing that will happen if you do the same as your rivals is you'll end up in the same position. So gets the car stopped, down into the pit lane, entry, limiter on. Safdar up to 4th on hard tyres. That's got to be pretty good towards the end of the race. Medium tyres ready for Harv, and we'll see where he comes out the pits relative to CDM and Mitch. CDM already by him, but I think CDM has gone through, and so has Mitch. So it didn't work out for Harv. He's got to get past these guys on track if he wants to beat them tonight.
Quite little Jim went for a set of halves. You can easily make mediums work.
Yeah.
But maybe he just prefers them.
Marcus has closed right up behind Chris Samet here. Marcus on the hards.
They will be better than Chris's.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be pretty much equal, because they're a harder compound, but they're more worn out. Wait, less worn out even.
A little bit less, yeah. Chris Summit's tyres will be nearing the end of their life. He's on lap 18 of those tyres. As we see Max pit. Yeah, Max has pitted. This should be candy from a baby for Marcus, but Chris makes it difficult. Marcus had nowhere to go there. There was contact across the start-finish line. Marcus can feed him into the... No, Marcus very, very generous to Chris Summer. I think he wanted that DRS lightning. There he goes. And he speeds on past. Much easier move to wait for that second straight if you're competing. I think he backed out of it. He knows what he's doing around this track. As, yeah, we saw Max pit and come out in P7. So Taylor inherits the lead. He's got a 4.4 second gap to SpongeBob behind. Both of those drivers will need to pit again. And Safdar now on hard tyres, very close up behind SpongeBob.
Taylor needs to pit as soon as possible to negate the undercut. You can definitely make softs last till the end of the race.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too difficult.
He doesn't. Yes, he does. Right.
Okay.
I thought he was going to go in.
No, not this time round. He just wants that slightly fresher rubber at the end of the race. Looks like Safdar forced to the outside by SpongeBob. SpongeBob just trying to get that gap. He's got a good gap here. About 20%, down to 10% ERS for Safdar. He's spending everything to get past him on this opportunity. Gets around the outside of Desida Dolego, and job done. It's cost him all his ERS, but job done for Safdar, as he's now in a really good position for this race. You've got to say, if he can make these hard tyres last, which hopefully he should be able to, The race really now coming to Safdar, to Prakaxon, and potentially to Marcus as well, all on the hard tyre, pitted to the
It
end.
would be quite the story if, after all of this and all the bad luck for Delta, they managed to get the win.
Well, it's back on. It's a very competitive top 10 right now. Yes, we will see Taylor drop down. We will see Chris Samet drop down, but potentially go ahead and put softs on. Taylor's in the pits.
Definitely going in for the softs. Really makes sense.
Yeah. You can see this, the red walled soft tyres ready for him in the pits there. They take tyres off, they leave tyres on, they put new tyres over the top. I think it was a glitch. I think we're all right. Yeah, Taylor's okay in a way. Fastest lap right now by Max. Yeah, on medium, fresh mediums for Max.
And an overtake.
So much of a glitch, I actually can't look at Max anymore. Here comes Max out the pits. Taylor will come out just behind him, with just feeding in front of Harv. As behind him, we've got a great view there of CDM getting Harv into Dessa de la Lego. Harv fighting back hard.
Will he go for a dive bomb through this last bomb?
It's always possible, isn't it? But no, he takes it steady. You don't want to wipe out your teammate, especially now that Delta Pace have risen up the ranks. So 3 Delta Paces in the top 5 at this stage of the race. But it's on the hunt now for Taylor, who will be aggressive, be fast compared to the guys around him, and it's now or never for getting those passes done. CDM going a little bit wrong there. That's absolutely handed a huge amount of drive up the hill to Harv. Harv gets by using the DRS and enhanced traction. Behind him, Mitch making a move on CDM. CDM losing 2 places in one straight. And then contact between teammates as CDM nerves into the back of Harv. I think there'll be words afterwards in the debrief. There might even be words right now in the team party. Hopefully they can keep cool enough to continue the race on, because Taylor now P6 and is catching Max ahead. Taylor hoping to get back towards the front of this race. The size of the job in front of him is he's got an 11.2 second gap to the lead. There are not many laps to go.
Fastest laps, but Taylor on the softs is still calling up. He's going to go probably smash the fastest lap now, especially with the slipstream.
Slipstream, DRS,
overtake.
ERS, everything. Yeah, it's going to come up the inside. I don't think Max is going to make this difficult for him. He can see he's on soft tyres. Is his teammate after all. Job done. Eyes forward, and he's got now about 3 seconds of a gap to catch Marcus. Safdar needs to be managing the tyres, but keeping an eye really on what Taylor's doing. I don't know if the rest of his team in a party will be able to communicate that really his battle here is against Taylor and what he can do.
If I were Max, I wouldn't give up, because the soft tyres, they will definitely decline in performance quite a lot. So
follow Taylor on through, you reckon?
I reckon. Don't give up hope just yet. Only have a chance to win.
Meanwhile, Safdar can't really afford to take it easy, because less than a second behind is SpongeBob.
Another yellow flag.
So SpongeBob deploying some ERS, not really saving much for the last laps of the race, down to 6% now. And there's Safdar up in the lead of the race for Delta Pace, Delta Prime, and we wouldn't have seen this before, would we? We wouldn't have guessed at the start of the race that these guys would be fighting for the win.
Certainly would. It's definitely been quite hectic.
Yeah. No doubt. Let's take a look again at the penalties. Well, there's a small opportunity for us. So SpongeBob, 6 seconds of penalties. That's going to see him tumble down at least 2 places at this point, with Bukaxon on 5 seconds of penalties. So Safdar, Marcus, Taylor and Max are running around there without penalties, and will profit from those rivals around them.
Surely Marcus is going to let Taylor by. maybe give him slipstream and DRS, and then make it quite easy for him.
Yeah. Let's check back with Taylor. Let's see. Oh, this is going on. I think are all the cars now pitted to the end? Yeah, Chris Summit has now pitted. So he's on. Why is SpongeBob pitting at this point? 16 lap old mediums. Okay. So he's going for a two-stopper. Taylor gets by Marcus, as you suggested. Job was made quite easy there. Yeah. So Taylor now just has 2 hard tyre runners ahead of him, and I called out an 11-second gap. It's now down to what? 8?
8 seconds. Yep.
That's pretty fast pace, and his teammates have made that really easy for him. Taylor looking for the win tonight, no doubt.
You're going to expect Rakazan, I don't know either how to pronounce his name, to make his car very wide.
You do, but what can you do on old hard tyres against a 3-lap old soft runner with this kind of pace?
He's got a little bit more ERS, so
he has.
Go very defensive into each corner and then use the ERS.
But Taylor can afford to just recharge that battery to a certain extent, although he's not doing so. He's using it all on the way up the hill.
It's surprising.
It is surprising. Yeah, you expect to see a little bit more conservation for the last 4 laps, maybe.
It's going to be tight, I reckon.
Yeah.
The tyre drop-off will start to creep in. We only have the same edge.
Yeah, agreed.
CDM with 3-second penalty.
Another penalty, yeah.
And Trey Taylor's got a penalty. He just went wide at turn 4.
Ouch. That's really going to hurt.
That is solidifying
Safdar's
win.
It is pretty much. Was that a 3-second penalty for Taylor? Just as he tries to push the car as hard as possible, just overextended the track. And he's going to be begging Safdar to make a similar mistake. His team need to be communicating to Safdar that he needs to drive calmly and stay within 3 seconds of Taylor at the end. He just needs to not get a penalty here.
If I was asked to predict the race outcome at the start, I would not guess this.
Well, we'll keep our eye on Chris Samet as well, because he's on soft tyres the same as Taylor. Taylor, again, spending away at his ERS, but he's recovering a fair amount round a lap. There's a few big stops, I suppose.
Marcus has gone up 9 positions. He's somehow overtaken Max. Maybe Max is catching up to it.
Max is a little bit faster, isn't he, at this point? Here comes Taylor though, quarter of a second behind Brakaxon. How wide and how slow can Brakaxon make his car?
On purpose through here.
Well, yeah, I mean, just kill the car at the apex, where once your rival is committed to the braking zone, you can just. I think he is. Bit of blocking here, perhaps, going on. It's all legitimate. This is a team game.
Yeah, and he's got a lot more ERS, so he's probably going to use it all here.
Yeah, there you go. But I don't think it's going to be enough to fight here, is he? Is it? Because
it might be if he keeps to the inside.
He's got the inside line.
But
will we see Taylor go around the outside? We will see him go around the outside. Oh!
Oh no!
Did Brakaxon lose it on his own, or was he pushed?
I think he lost it on his own, because I was on board with Taylor. He was giving a lot of room.
I was on board with the rear wing of Brakaxon, so I didn't get a great view of what the cars were looking like relative to each other. But Brakaxon down to P3 with a 5-second penalty. That will see him down at least 2 places as Taylor's mission continues to close in and pass Safdar and get 3 seconds up the road, which does seem somewhat adventurous right now. Now I'm saying it.
A bit of a spin, I think, for Chris.
Yeah.
Yellow flag.
He's lost a lot of time, hasn't he?
Yep.
So it's really all down to Safdar now for team pride.
Marcus has done very well. 8 positions up.
Absolutely. Let's go and have a look at that position change. Safdar up 4. He's obviously profited very well, kept his head well and kept it clean while others lose theirs. Yeah, Marcus will be in with a shouter driver of the day tonight. We started with 20 cars, Lightning, we're down to 12.
It's been quite hectic, a lot of carnage involved. 2 disqualifications, one for a glitch and one was just a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. Brucaxon now very much on the defensive, having spent all that ERS earlier in defence. He's now struggling around. I think his tyres are clearly in a phase that aren't suiting him relative to the medium runner Max behind him. I wonder if Max can get himself up onto the podium before penalties here tonight. It certainly looks like it. 5.5 seconds the gap at the lead. It's not closing at the speed it needs to, but who can tell by the end of the race whether he'll be able to put Safdar under enough pressure here to cause a problem, as we see Max getting really leery on the way out of Youngsao, just getting the dirty air and a little over-eager on the accelerator. Just lost the car slightly.
He might.
This is on.
And he does.
Oh, left.
Very overly aggressive.
It's aggressive, but did Brucaxon leave him any room on the inside there?
Considering the braking zone is 50 metre board, you should be expecting such a dive bomb. So yeah.
Okay, well Max
possibly a little bit too aggressive.
It's certainly aggressive when you think.
He nearly spins.
Oh, he really is getting very impatient. He doesn't need to be doing this to get himself onto second place, and he's just lost out of place to his teammate Marcus. I'm pretty sure Marcus did get by.
Nope, he's
okay.
He's conceded the position again.
Interesting. I wonder if there's team orders going on because that looked a little bit of an interesting yield back. Max over eager there. Brucaxon also somewhat over defensive considering he's got a penalty.
That is very true, and he's on much worse tyres. So he can't keep it up all day. He's going to try.
Absolutely, he is. I'll have to say a few words of praise to Safdar though. He really is driving a great race.
How he's doing it. Yeah.
No, 4.2 seconds, and there's four laps left, 4 complete laps to run. He's driving clean. He's driving on those hard tyres, which you said at the start here, Lightning, that they're not a good tyre to be on around here. 23 laps on those hard tyres. It will be obviously 27 laps in the end. Taylor's soft tyres will be dying off, and that's why that gap's not closing very quickly. He needs to get up there and really start forcing Safdar into an error.
He will win on track, because if Safdar doesn't get a penalty, it's game over.
Could be. Could well be. Max has caught back up though to Brucaxon. He's going to be a lot more wary of getting past him here. Brucaxon moving to the inside, trying to force him around the outside now, the centre S, but Max gets the job done there. I'm sure Brucaxon will try and get back through under DRS. He has, and Max has spent all of his ERS. There's not much to choose between the two of them. I think Max is going to hold this one though. So Max gets up to P3 cleanly in terms of Codemaster penalties at least. It hasn't been without contact, but he's got by, and so that's OBF1 in 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th positions. Pretty sure we could call that one. If there's only 1 point difference between winning and second, I'm pretty sure we can call that one as an OBF1 win for tonight. Just coming up behind the bright liveried Kieran Barr here to get by him, but they have got ghosting on for lapped cars, so slightly easier job for the drivers here to get through. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Team versus team battle with ghosting off for lap cars.
It would be quite
Looks like Harvey's coming up now. It's his turn to try and get Brucaxon, and when you compare Brucaxon's pace with Safdar, you really have to give the credit to Safdar for making those hard tyres work ever so much better than Brucaxon has.
without a doubt. He's been doing absolutely phenomenally.
So lap 34. Yeah, driver of the day for Safdar from Lightning. Yeah, let's see if he holds it together, but barring any last minute mistakes, I think he's going to take the W here, which will be a good consolation for Delta Pace when the rest of their team have not fared particularly well. I'm not quite sure who Patterson is calling out here on, because I can't tell which team he's part of. I'm guessing he's part of Delta Pace.
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
Taylor has been getting 1 second a lap, and Safdar is 1 warning away from a penalty.
Oh, no way. That's fantastic.
If he does overtake, and Safdar gets a penalty, which he might,
yeah.
Very easy to do so.
Oh, Safdar really has to keep it clean now. It's got to keep off those track limits. Let's see what he can do.
Marcus and CDM exchanging places.
Yeah, but CDM is also closing in now on Brakaxen. Brakaxen fighting back against Max. Taylor's almost in DRS. This is going to go right down to the wire, I think.
It's very nerve-wracking.
Absolutely.
I would not want to be in either of the top 2 positions. Yeah.
You'd rather be in the com box.
Yeah.
Tonight, because it really is. It's all on now for the end here. Let's watch the 2 leaders as they go through here. We'll try and see from the perspective of Taylor what he needs to do. Safdar's about to start his last lap. He's also on virtually no signal strength, so that could all go horribly wrong. Can you imagine a disco at the end? would be awful. So 7/10 is the gap right now. There's 1 more DRS zone.
DRS.
Yeah.
Taylor.
For Taylor, I've got him on 13 on my screen, with Safdar on 14. Right. Okay. So he's caught. Yeah. He's regened a bit more. 5/10 is the gap. Safdar still on 1 remaining opportunity to stay within the track limits, taking it out wide there. It's 0.3 of a second. What can Safdar do in response? 9% of ERS, fuel light flashing as normal here on Taylor's car on the last lap. Safdar has saved some ERS at the end. He will have just about the same amount to battle with on the way up the hill. This is going to be everything at the end of this race. Yeah, 0.3, less than 1/4 of a second now between the 2 cars. It's all about the exit of Young Sao for Taylor. Does he dive 1 up the inside and push him wide? Does he wait for traction and a slipstream? I think he's going to wait. Safdar not with an ideal launch out the back here. Taylor on the way through. Safdar's going to hug the inside line, surely. This is going to be a photo finish between the end. And
Taylor gets it.
Wow, Taylor gets it on track, but Safdar will win it on penalties. What an ending to the race. Max is going to come through. Yes, P3. Wow, we want a screenshot of that one as Harv gets P4. Brakaxen P5 on the track down to P7 with Marcus CDM, and it's a clean sweep top 6 for OBF1. Second to 6th for OBF1. It's going to be an easy job for us working out who the team winner is tonight, with Chris Samet, team captain, coming through in 9th position. Clean driving, so he won't lose out here. Though close attentions of little Jim at the end there. Little Jim, Chris Samet gives a little wiggle on the line, and they cross the line 9th, 10th and 11th positions. But yeah, wow. That was something, wasn't it?
Weren't any penalties.
Yeah, there goes Marcus. Gets that driver of the day. I think that was, 8 or 9 places up at the end of it.
Yeah.
But that was nail-biting right to the end.
60 milliseconds.
It is. Safdar is your winner there. Takes the champagne. We've got Iron Michael Schumacher in a race suit here in 2nd place. But yeah, the Delta pace cars go ahead and they get the win on countback without penalties, but Taylor get fastest lap and did cross the line at the front of the race. Taylor, the pole position, 2nd place in the end, but winning on track at the end there with Max in 3rd place. We got Harv in, Harv in 4th, Marcus 5th, CDM got 6th place, Brakaxon all the way down in 7th after that penalty. It really hurt him at the end. Marcus did gain 12 places in. Marcus gained 8 places in the grid from his grid position. Chris Summit, team captain, got 9th place with Little Jim, Mitch, Kieran Barr, the last of the finishers, and then Would You Rather Temp, Patterson, Leclerc, Pistol, Sparks, Lasse Lawson. We lost right at the start, remember, as we did with Kieran Rees. But a crack of a race and a great evening spent watching racing. Certainly nice way to finish off the weekend. That's been utterly full of racing for me.
That was madness.
Absolute madness. Well, we'll see if Pistol wants to join the party at the end here and just give us a review. We can welcome Chris Summit and potentially Safdar if they want to, but we won't hang around too long because we did get started pretty late tonight, and I'm sure Lightning and has got places to be and stuff to do tonight. But great to have you guest commentate with us tonight, Lightning. Thanks for your input. Any sort of key thoughts or reflections on that drama we saw through the night tonight?
All I can say is that Delta Pace have better ERS management. That's about it.
Okay. So credit to them. Absolutely.
Pistol has joined the party.
Oh,
Hello.
brilliant.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hey Pistol.
Hey.
We're good. We had a great time. I don't know if you enjoyed it quite so much yourself.
Well, I enjoyed the comms. The comms were awesome, so it was great to actually have a chance to listen to them. So thanks so much for doing that, guys.
Yeah.
Did I enjoy the race? I did right up until I was putting the ball on the home straight. But do you know what? It was a great experience, and having like this for me is all about having fun with friends, and
Totally.
we've managed to do that. So yeah, it's been a good evening of racing. The quality in qualifying was amazing. I could not believe the times and how close they were. It was electric. And then there were a few incidents on track. Yep, okay, cool. I think some of them were due to internet connections, others whatever you will call it, but yeah, I think I enjoyed the comms. I enjoyed watching it, and for the time that I was involved in driving it, I was having a lot of fun. I mean, I had such a great start, 19th up to 11th, so I was really happy with that.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. It's been fun, and it's another league victory for OB. This is our second team challenge we've done, and it's the second one we've won. So quite happy about that. And if there are any leagues out there listening, more than happy to take on any of you guys if you fancy it. Drop me a message on Discord.
Awesome. No, that sounds good. What about your qualifying tonight? Did you feel you got everything out the car, or were you not quite at your top?
See, I'm not used to multiplayer cars. It's weird, like they just feel so different. Like I was saying to my teammates,
Right.
The car felt really heavy on the rear. With regard to my Q1 time, yeah, I felt there was no more in there for me. My Q2, it was a more so, well, where I got the 5 place grid penalty, I was like, I just need to try and get as much out of it as possible, and I did in the first lap, but I invalidated. So then it was okay. It's kind of a banker lap with a bit of a push. So could I have possibly gone better? Yes, but knowing that I had the 5 place grid penalty, I didn't want to get into Q3 and then start on worn tyres, possibly as far down as 15th position. So it was kind of picky about always get a safe lap in.
Yep.
Excuse me. So yeah.
What happened to see you disappear out of the race? We didn't catch it.
So I was battling with Leclerc, and he got past me in sector 1. I managed to stay within DRS range of him. I think he was lagging a little bit because his car was kind of a bit over the track, and I went for the overtake down the home straight, DRS and DRS wide open, and his car connected with mine, and I ended up in the wall. Lost my wheel, and toodaloo, that's me done.
That's it. That's all she wrote. Well, you can be very proud of the team, I'm sure. What was the team radio like tonight?
Yes, it was interesting.
Was there much in the way of cooperation going on at the front once it looked like you guys you were doing a lot of cooperation? Good stuff. Excellent.
There was. At the end of the day, this is a team race. It is, and not all of our drivers were able to take part in the party chat because of internet connections and whatnot. But there was, out of the 10 of us, I think there were 7 or 8 of us in the party chat. So it was good, and we were able to communicate who's going where, what's going on, and in terms of penalties and where other drivers were, who to look out for.
And did you have to call a Fernando is faster than you message at any point? Did you pull rank?
I did not know, because my drivers are sensible. So I think the thing is where we all know how to race, and we race week in, week out of each other. We know who the faster drivers is, and we also are very tactic aware. Like, take HT for example. You know, if HT, who is second place in our Wednesday night racing league, unfortunately he had some issues with his PlayStation, so that's probably the only reason he's not challenging for the championship right now, because of those connections. But him and Jim are having a massive battle. We're having a massive battle in Wednesday night. So when you know he's coming up behind you and he's on the softs, and you're on, say, 15 lap old hards, you know you're not going to be holding them up much. Not that you would want to in a team race. So I mean, I'm quite lucky in that we've got very sensible, clean, and high quality drivers like Max, like H Taylor. Didn't get to see as much of Little Jim today as we would have hoped.
Yeah, he was being a victim of a lot of incidents tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was a bit of a magnet for them, but it does happen, and we can't all win every race. And so I want to say my congratulations to Safdar and Delta for technically taking the checker flag. Yes. I guess I should say technically, because it was a technical win. So, but Safdar drove very well to gain.
He did drive very well. We did enjoy that. That claw back up the grid. That was very good. Was Taylor aware of Safdar's warning situation?
I will be honest, I don't know, because Taylor was one of the drivers not in the party chat.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
So yes. So unfortunately,
because we were just watching it, screaming down the mic, because Lightning went and looked at race director and found he was one warning away from a penalty. And getting that right on the very edge. So one little mistake and it would have reversed the order.
Yes, and what a finish that would have been. I mean, I was watching it and I was like, as you're coming around the last turn and you're like, okay, he's not going to get a penalty now, but then you're watching it down towards the end and your mind's kind of like, oh, come on, just get a penalty somehow, anyhow, come on. This is just like, it was such immense racing, like just seeing them side by side alongside each other across that finish straight. And the same with Chris and Little Jim as well. It was great to see them two finishing alongside each other on the track. Obviously penalties will play a big part in any on-road race, but it's great to see those close battles even towards the end of a race. Like normally you kind of reserve them for Baku with the long straight, and then the DRS section. The amount of times I've been beaten like by 200ths of a second there because of DRS, thank you very much. But it was some great action, some fun viewing, and some amazing commentary, so thanks very much for that, guys.
You're welcome. No, I mean, Lightning did have a little bit of feedback for OBF1, and that's on ERS management. So perhaps just a little bit better pacing through the race.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
I don't know if you can invite Chris Sammut or if he's off to do something else. We can give it a go. Because via him we might get Safdar, but I don't know if it might have got a little bit late now. But good to talk to you at the end there. Thanks, Pistol.
I have sent him an invite.
Thank you.
We'll see if he's able to drop it. I'll drop him a message on Discord as well.
Cool. But yeah, bragging rights to OBF1. You're 2-0 now.
We are 2-0, yes. I'm very happy about that. So, and hopefully we can get you guys back on the comms box again for our next challenge.
What track?
Oh, well, we need to find a league to battle first. What we tend to do is, I'll talk to like the league admin, head league admin, and we'll kind of decide a few tracks. So like for this one, we were looking at Bahrain, we were looking at, I think, Monza, Austria, and we really wanted Brazil, so I chucked that in, and we kind of agreed to Brazil. So, it's kind of, we'll make the decision, like me and the admin on the other side, or the head of league, and we'll take it from there. And then for me, it's then kind of getting the drivers recruited. I mean, I'm quite lucky in that a lot of our drivers love racing, are still quite young, so unlike me, they don't have kids to worry about.
Hello. Same situation. Yep.
I've just got a message from Chris. I don't think
Okay.
I don't think he's joining us, but it's
Nice
where they've got a lot more free time on their hands. It's kind of like cool. So they love to race, especially at the weekends, and we just enjoy it.
If you like to race at the weekends, we might know somebody. We might know a league that might be interested, and we might know someone who organises events for them in the post-season at the moment. But we'll see. We'll have a chat and we'll talk about it. It was really, really interesting, fun watching tonight. Do support your leagues to the best of your ability.
Thank you. I've just got a message from Chris saying he is going to come and talk to you guys a bit.
Okay.
If you want to stay on.
Sweet, yeah.
So I've invited him. Yeah, he's going to come join on. And sorry, you were saying I didn't want you to log out there.
No problem. We're just to say we all enjoy racing. We all love love having a go and messing about with our mates, and that's really what it's down to. Obviously, some people can get very passionate. We saw a few passionate people in the chat tonight. Hopefully, they'll be able to go and take a breath and live to fight another day. But it's a really interesting dynamic, isn't it? When you have drivers fighting each other all season and then working together at the end. I think it's really good for team camaraderie and the league in itself. But Chris, sounds like you've joined us, Chris. I'll just check you've done your audio settings set to share on the broadcast settings.
Let me check, guys.
Excellent.
I don't know if I'm being heard of.
Well, I won't know until the stream tell me they can't hear you. But congratulations on the win, at least tonight. Looks like Safdar took the win for you.
Yes, Safdar has done quite a job. He's, I think, one of the fastest drivers that we have.
It's a really interesting dynamic, isn't it? When you have
it's interesting from him that he had to start quite at the back after the first couple of laps. However, I think he has pulled off quite a job, and we're
just
very...
I can hear Chris on
got him. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. I'm going to head out now.
Thanks, Pistol. No worries.
No worries, guys. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
We're very, very satisfied about Safdar. But for the rest, I think we must congratulate OBF1 Racing, because basically they have done quite a race. I think they have most of the drivers who came up at the front, and credits to them as well.
Yeah. Where do you think your guys have got the most work to do?
Probably it's about race pace. And
right.
Overall, not being too aggressive overall, but I think it counts for both sides.
I think a bit more patience wouldn't go amiss across the grid. We did want to finish with more than 12 drivers, didn't we, tonight?
Yeah. Could have been worse, but please pay them to 12 drivers.
Yeah, we've definitely seen worse. But what did you make of the gaps in qualifying tonight?
I think they were very close during the qualifying. However, I will notice that the OBF1 Racing guys basically had the pace in this track. We have noticed as well that they were really helping out each other by giving them the tow. We have noticed that clearly, but I mean, it's part of the teamwork, and when you have a very good team, you make the dream work.
Yeah, I think that pole position from Taylor was definitely helped Lightning, wasn't it, by his teammate Half?
It was unreal. I mean, it was 1 minute 6.5 or something. I mean, it was unreal. And the second guy, I think it was Lasse Larsen from our end.
Yeah.
It was also an unreal lap. I mean, I congratulated him in our Discord page, and I was very satisfied with his lap, because it was quite a lap. I could never beat that kind of lap, even in time trials. So
wow. Yeah,
to him
under
as
the
well.
pressure of
And
Q1, that was great. That was really, really good from all the drivers. Did you get to? Did you have a party running? Did you hear from Lasse Lawson? Because we were hoping he was going to take the battle at the front, and really lost out.
no, we weren't doing a party at the time being,
Okay.
but I think an accident must have happened and he had to retire, I believe.
Well, we were on. I was actually riding with him, and he seemed to get something wrong under braking. He skipped across the apex, and unfortunately wiped out another driver who was ahead of him on track. I give him the benefit of the doubt. It didn't look deliberate. It looked like it was a simple loss under braking on the dirty side of the track. But yeah, I wondered how it all looked from his perspective, whether he was pushed from behind, because I wouldn't have been able to see riding on his cockpit view.
Unfortunately, I wasn't on a party chat with him, and also unfortunately I was not, I think, quite at the back to see what has happened, so
Yeah.
I would have to discuss that with him.
Well, yeah, it was an entertaining night's racing. We really enjoyed it, and really glad to be here to commentate for this League versus League battle. Have you done many of these before, or is this your first one as a team?
I think this is the second time we have done the League versus League. The first time was done like a couple of weeks ago, and it was a very interesting thing. I think even this was an interesting type, and there are many reasons for why we do this, because mainly we attract more people to the game. Maybe we manage to make some more friends, you know, get a better community, and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting that we have these kind of League versus League races. It also gives a perspective, you know, from what other leagues do in terms of tire wear and the race space and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, great to talk to you. Great to meet you and see your team in action tonight. And congrats on taking the win on track. And unfortunately the team result didn't go your way, but you have at least got a winner in the midst.
Irrespective of the result, I think I enjoyed it. Let's put it this way, and I hope that the team has enjoyed it the same or as much as we did. Overall.
Good stuff. Yeah, well, pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you, guys.
Well, race fans, that's it for tonight, and thanks to Lightning. Thanks to everyone who took part, and stay racing hard, and hope we all meet again on track someday soon. But for now, we'll catch you all on the next race day.